Hello students. Today's video is titled Independent and Dependent Variables, and it's actually our last lesson in Unit 6. So let's get right into it. And just to give you a heads up, we're going to have two different examples, and then that will be it. Okay, here's our first example. We lead off with 2 bullet points, which you know we always read. So I'll go ahead and read this out loud. You can read it silently. An independent variable is not affected by other variables. It is the x value and can stand alone. A dependent variable is affected when the independent variable changes. It is the y value and cannot stand alone. So that doesn't mean much to you right now, but it will in a little bit. Okay, here's our first example. Emma was given 5 seashells at the beginning of summer. Each week after that, she collected 3 more seashells. So she starts with 5 right off the bat, and then every week she collects 3 more. So we're going to see if we can fill in these blanks here. The number of blank collected depends on the number of blank that have passed. Can you think of what these would be? Hopefully you're thinking. The number of, I hope you're thinking, seashells. The number of seashells collected depends on the number of weeks that have passed. So what happens here, right off the bat, we figure out which one's independent and which one's dependent. See, the seashells depend on the weeks. The seashells are affected by the weeks that have passed. So the dependent variable is the seashells because they go up as the weeks pass. The independent variable, the one that stands alone, is the weeks. So I will tell you this, just a little trick. Time is always independent. Time waits for no one. Time doesn't care. Time marches on no matter what. You can't stop time. So if you have time involved, like weeks, days, years, weeks is always independent. The seashells depend on the weeks. Okay, so now look at this chart I have here. I have this like a table or like a T chart. Now I want to tell you, the independent variable, the weeks, is always the x value. And the dependent variable, the seashells, is always the y value, like the dependent variable. Okay, so we're gonna fill this in. So if you had 0 weeks pass by, right? 0 weeks pass by, they wanna know how many seashells you have. Well, didn't you have 5 to begin with? You started with 5. So at week 0, you had 5 seashells. But we're not just going to write 5. We're going to actually do this. Since we collect 3 more seashells each week, we're going to write it like this. So 3 weeks have passed, but no, not 3 weeks have passed. Let me redo that. 3 seashells per week, but 0 weeks have passed. But we had the 5 to begin with. That means we have 5 seashells. So at the beginning of this experiment, at 0 weeks, 3 seashells per week times 0 weeks plus the 5 we started with leaves us with the 5. Now 1 week has passed. So we have 3 seashells a week times that 1 week plus 5. And that's going to be 3 times 1 is 3 plus 5 is 8. See how 1 week passed and we went up 3 seashells? That's what should be happening. 2 weeks. 3 seashells a week times 2 weeks plus the 5 we started with is 6 plus 5. Now we have 11. 3 weeks passed. Well, we're collecting 3 seashells per week times 3 weeks plus 5. That's 9 plus 5, which is 14. 4 weeks. 3 seashells per week times those 4 weeks, added to the 5 we began with. We've got 12 plus 5, we've got 17 shells. What's happening here? 5 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14, and 14 to 17. I hope you notice we're going up. With every passing week, we go up. Our seashells increase by 3. That makes sense because 3 per week. Now look at this. Now they made it generic, W. W weeks have passed. So if any amount, we're going to call it W weeks have passed, what would be the equation here that goes with this? Well, 3 seashells per week times W weeks plus 5. And that would equal total seashells. So your equation might look like this. 3W, because you know we get lazy with this time sign, plus 5 equals, maybe we put S for seashells. Or seashells equals 3W plus 5. And that would be the equation. That way you could do it for a big number of weeks. Say it's like, I don't know, is there 52 weeks in a year? Say you want to know how many seashells you've collected at week 40. You could do S equals 3 times 40 weeks plus 5, which would be 120, plus 5, which would be 125 seashells in your collection. And you wouldn't have to keep making this chart all the way down to 40 weeks. You can just use the equation and pop 40 in for W. Okay, I have one more sort of like this, and then we'll be done. Okay, here's our next example. A gym charges a one-time sign-up fee of $95 plus $45 per month. That means you're paying $45 every month to be a member, plus a one-time sign-up fee of $95. So let's see if we can fill these blanks in. The total blank given to the gym depends on the number of blank you've been a member. The total, are you thinking money? The total money that you give to this gym depends on the number of months you've been a member. So the money depends on the months. You're going to pay more money if you're a member for more months, more out of your pocket. So the dependent variable, money depends. See, money depends is money. Money. And the independent variable is the months. And like I told you, time is always independent. Time waits or depends on nothing. It rolls no matter what. So when you look at the chart, that's why we have the independent first, which is months, the dependent second, money. Okay, so how much does it cost out of your pocket if you've been a member for 0 months? Well, it's going to cost you the sign-up fee. So even though it's $45 a month, you haven't gone yet, so we'll put a 0 there, times 0, plus the $95 one-time sign-up fee. Well, 4 times 0 is 0, plus 95. So that means you've spent $95 and you haven't even really been there a month. That's just your sign-up. Let's go to 1 month. If you've been a member for 1 month, you're going to take 45 times 1. See, I use parentheses for times. I'll go back to regular times. Plus 95 equals, okay, let's see, 45 times 1 is 45. 95 plus 45, I believe, is 140. Yeah. Okay, 2 months. Well, that would be $45 a month times 2 months plus the sign-up fee. That's going to be 90. 45 times 2 is 90. And 90 plus 95 is 185. And then we have 3 months. That's $45 times 3 months plus the sign-up. Let's see, 45 times 3, 15, carry the 1. I believe that's 135 135 plus 95 is 10, carry the 1. 13, I think 230 here, doing a little side hustle, 230. And then 4 months, so 45 times 4 plus 95 equals, let's see, 45 times 4, let's do that over here. 45 times 4, that's going to be 20, carry the 2, 16, 17, 18, so it's going to be 180. And then I got to add 95 to that. So it's going to be 5, 17, carry that one, 275, I think. 275. What do you notice from here to here to here to here to here? What are we going up by? What are we going up by each time? I hope you're thinking $45, which would make sense because every month you have to pay another $45. So our equation, what if we're joining this gym for M months? M months. Well, that would be $45 a month times M months plus the sign-up fee would equal them, oh, we probably shouldn't have used M. Well, M would have to be for months, but then what can we use for money? I don't need to use another M. We'll put total cost. Okay, so the equation would be 45M plus 95 equals the cost, or the cost equals 45M plus 95. The great thing about having the equation is now if you want to know, oh, I've been a member for 20 months or 10 months, you can just plug that in for the M and solve it. And you don't have to keep going down this chart. Okay, so this is a little bit about independent and dependent variables and how you start to show patterns and write equations. So, thanks for watching, and my students have something to say to you.
Happy trails to you!
That's
Bye.
right. Bye.
Bye, everyone!
Bye. This is
Bye.
Maranatha. Y'all subscribe. to my
Subscribe.
Yeah,
Subscribe
Maranatha.
to my TikTok.
Yeah,
Subscribe, like, and share.
Yeah.
Subscribe, like, and share.
Bye.
Bye.
Notifications.